Okay, guys, hi. Welcome back. Um, I wanted to do a quick video on one of my theories as to what's going on here, and probably the strongest theory. And I know that anyone who's well versed in the 4-in-1 knows that these things are mystical, that something supernatural is going on in a lot of the cases, if not all of them, but it just can't be explained with our normal physics and our normal laws of nature. So we need to delve into something else. And so what I kept coming across is that in mythology, what has these powers to basically cause these missing 4-in-1 incidences are fairies, witches, Wolfman or Bigfoot by the stories of the kids who have laid beside them. But I actually think in some cases those things save kids. I don't know. That's just a theory. But anyways, or UFOs. And so today we're going to go over fairies, which I think is the most likely. And we're just going to go over some of their powers in mythology, what they're quoted as being able to do. So the first one I thought I'd go down is glamour. This is on Unnatural World Wiki, and it's just on fairies. It's just in mythology what they've been known to have powers to do. And it says that they're able to cast vivid and convincing illusions in order to trick others, as demonstrated with the illusion on the Fey world, making it appear more appealing and beautiful. So, what we've seen in 4-in-1 cases is where someone sees a path, just like in the last video, sees a path or looks on the map and sees something they didn't notice before, and they take it. Well, it would seem that a fairy would be able to make that path look more pleasant, or make that way look more inviting than it actually is. And then when they shut it off, that's when they turn around and look and they're on the precipice of a cliff, or they're in the middle of the woods. And I think that's why a lot of these people are found with scrapes on them and cuts, because they've been deluded into walking through these places that, that is filled with brush. And so as we went down, I wanted to go back up to the top here, and we'll just start from the top. So it says that shapeshifting is also another one of their abilities, and this is obvious. They can take a bunch of different forms, and what I thought was interesting is that they can take the form of flowers. Now that's interesting, because if they only needed to touch you, or they only needed to make eye contact, as it says, then they could just become a flower. And what's their eyes? I mean, who knows what they're doing? But I just found that interesting because it's out in the forest and they can turn into flowers. It says photokinesis, and that fairies have the ability to project and control light. This would fall also into the manipulating, causing hallucinations and stuff like that, or making places look more inviting than they actually are. So they're actually, and it actually says they're able to create a concentrated, powerful ball. I don't know about all that, if we've seen that, but here next we have fairies can make humans do their bidding. Mesmerization. The fairy only needs to have eye contact in order to seize your mind. Now here, I give you some of the cases where a person, I remember listening to one where the guy was on a film crew, and the film crew was with him. He just jumped off the side of the truck and took off into the woods. Someone tried to catch him, but he was running almost like at supernatural speeds, which is interesting, but they never found him. He's still missing. Well, seems like something took over his mind. And there's many other cases. Why do people take off their shoes all the time? It's almost like something has taken control of their mind. So, I digress. Chlorokinesis. Fairies can manipulate vegetation. Fairies can grow plants, and that's not really, but it just shows their strength, superhuman strength. Fairies are much stronger than any human. They're strong enough to toss a fully grown human across the room with great force. Now you're looking at different incidences with supernatural activity where you've seen things fly across the room. It's believable. Durabilities. They're much more durable. And now here's one that's important. The fairies are much older and wiser than humans, even other supernatural creatures like vampires, werewolves, and shapeshifters. So they're old even amongst them. I think they're tied to the Nephilim and the fallen angels, but we'll get into that later. Telepathy. Fairies have the ability to read others' minds and can read people's minds as well. Now remember, where I said that that guy said something about the Squatch in the last video, and immediately he felt like he was being watched. That would confirm this. So you see, guys, there's just a lot of evidence that kind of makes the fairy route seem like a good one. But then when you get into actually studying fairies, you'll see there's a tons of breakoffs, gnomes, goblins, leprechauns, different types of cryptids, which, you know, you guys wouldn't be here listening to 411 stuff if you didn't have an open mind. So I appreciate that. Just wanted to toss a couple things out. The website is Unnatural World Wiki Fairies. If you want to check it, just thanks for spending some time with me. Hope this helps.